Oh, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Backed by Bone podcast. This is the episode 37. Um, what is going on? Didn't do an episode last week, so had to make sure I was doing one this week. So what? Eesh, good. Got a few things to talk about today. I'll try and make this maybe an hour, maybe not. We'll see what happens. First, I want to go over UFC really quickly. I ended up watching the UFC card as of last night, which was really good, which was 286. But I just wanted to take a look at the card before that, which was the Piotr Jan versus Merab Dvalishvili card. Guess Piotr Jan lost by decision. I don't really know what happened. I didn't really stay up and watch that fight, unfortunately, but I just wanted to touch on that really quickly. Looks like there were some decent fights on the card, but I just totally forgot about it, to be completely honest. I don't even remember what I did last Saturday. I think I was just super tired. Um, Oh, no, I remember what I did last Saturday, whatever. Uh, the UFC card that just happened was 286, which was Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman 3. Leon Edwards ended up beating Kamaru, decision, 5-round decision, so he's still the champion. I thought it was actually a pretty good fight. I thought it was, I don't know, maybe a little bit boring as for, the point of view of a casual. But it was a pretty good fight. I kind of got distracted a couple times because I was, like, cooking food, but, regardless, I think it was a pretty decent fight. I mean, the Justin Gaethje Rafael Fiziev fight was, in my opinion, significantly better. Um, I don't really know what happened there, but, so the first round, Rafael Fiziev, like, won by a landslide. So it was probably, a 10-9, maybe someone could have scored it as a 10-8, but it's probably a 10-9 round. And then after that, Justin Gaethje kinda just kept coming back. Um, but Rafael Fiziev just, like, technically and, like, you know, ability-wise, just looked so much cleaner, but he just couldn't put Justin Gaethje down. So after that, he just kinda kept, I wanna say, like, in terms of how Justin Gaethje won the fight, he kept growing on him, and what I mean by that is he just kept, like, coming after him, wearing him down, hitting him, and just taking blows and, just not going down and just wore him down, wore Rafael Fiziev down, and ended up just winning the fight by decision by being the tougher fighter. I wouldn't say long term that's the smartest way to go, but um, he fucking won the fight, and that was definitely one of the best fights of the year so far. I thought that was really good. The fight before that was Gunnar Nelson and Brian Barberena. Gunnar Nelson got him into a nasty armbar, which was pretty fucking technical. It looked really good. I didn't watch the Jennifer Maia fight. I watched a little bit of the Marvin Vettori fight. Somehow Marvin Vettori won by decision. He did not. I don't know. I didn't watch the majority of it. I watched a little bit of it, but it didn't look like to me that he won the fight. But maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. Um, and then I didn't really watch any of the other fights on there. So unfortunately, sorry. Unfortunately, sorry to the Brits on that one. But next UFC card is going to be UFC on ESPN with Marlon Vera versus Corey Sandhagen, which is going to be this Saturday, the 25th. Main card starts at 7 p.m. I'm definitely going to try and watch this one because I think that's going to be a dope ass fight. Um, any other fights on the card? Lots of female fights on the card. Um, I don't really see a whole lot of fights I'm actually interested in, though. Tucker Lutz is fighting Daniel Pineda. That might be a good fight. That's on the prelims. Um, it could be some interesting fights on this actually. Just no real big names besides the main fight or the main card, and then the main event, and then the co-main. Where is this? I'm curious. I was gonna be at the AT&T Center. Oh, so it's in Texas. That's cool. Yeah, that'll be a good fight. And then we after that, it's gonna be UFC 287, which is the Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya rematch. That's April 8th. Unfortunately, that main card starts at 10 p.m., so that's gonna be really hard to fucking stay up for. So I'm going to try to. I know I said that for the return of John Jones fight. That one, yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to stay up for that one, and that one started at 10 p.m. But I mean, that ended like in the first round via submission, so it's not that big of a deal. I was just hard falling asleep the entire time, so I was like, "Fuck this, I'm going to sleep." But ooh, sorry, I'm yawning. I already feel like I'm gonna sleep now. But yeah, so I'm gonna try and stay up for the 287. That was gonna be interesting, but first we have Marlon Vera versus Corey Sandhagen. That was gonna be a dope fight. I should be able to stay up for that one. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. So 287 coming up. Um, then there's a fight night with Max Holloway and Arnold Allen. That'll be interesting. What else? UFC 288, which is Aljamain Sterling and Henry Cejudo. That should be pretty interesting because you got Charles Oliveira and Beneil Dariush. That's gonna be a dope fight. Another 10 p.m. card. What the fuck, dude? Let these guys know I have to sleep. Whatever. It is what it is. I'll try and stay up for some of these at least. It's just gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough to wake up in the morning for fucking yoga, but it is what it is. But yeah, some cool stuff coming up here, so keep an eye on that. And then next we're gonna go into the NHL really quickly. NHL. I had a couple games today as of 319. Bruins beat the Sabres 7-0. Absolutely crapped all over them. And that's in Buffalo too. Um, God, everybody had goals. Pastrnak, Hampus Lindholm, Garnet Hathaway had a goal. Charlie McAvoy, Charlie Coyle, Bergeron, DeBrusque. Jesus Christ. And Swayman was in net and he had 26 saves. Good for him. Holy shit. Um, yeah, they dumped all over the Sabres. Not that the Sabres are a good team, but 7-0, dude. Jesus Christ. And then let's see, Minnesota Wild beat the Capitals 5-3. Golden Knights beat Blue Jackets 7-2. And then there's one, two, three, four more games tonight. Um, I won't really go through them yet because it doesn't really matter. But let's take a look quickly at the Bruins in terms of last time I put out an episode was let me look at this quickly. Was the 5th? Yeah, this was the 5th. Mm, so since then, the Bruins lost to the Oilers 3-2 at home. Not a good thing. They beat the Red Wings 3-2. Then they lost to the Red Wings 5-3. They lost to the Blackhawks somehow 6-3. They beat the Jets 3-0. They beat the Wild 5-2, and then they just recently beat the Sabres 7-0. Their next game is this Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing against Ottawa Senators in Boston. So they should definitely win that game. They're on a three-game win streak, 7-3 in their last 10. 53 wins, 11 losses, and 5 overtime losses with 111 points. Definitely leading the league. Everyone says they're like on their way to like 65 wins or whatever. I don't really care about that. I mean, or 64 wins, I think. Be cool, but I don't know if they're actually going to get that far because the amount of games left in the season, it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more games left in the season. So if they win 10 of them, yeah, they'll be 64. But I don't really care about that. I just want them to play well in the playoffs. It would be cool for them to make history, have like the best like regular season record since whenever. But still, I just want them to be good in the playoffs. So top three in the Atlantic Division for the Eastern Conference is Bruins, Maple Leafs, Lightning, which you'll love to see. Top three in the Metro Division is Hurricane, Devils, Rangers, which is pretty dope. I kind of like the switch up there. Um, Rangers are also on a three-game win streak. I just like when the Rangers are in the playoffs. Like, a lot of like Boston sports fans don't like New York teams, but I think the Rangers are just like a great, like a great rival for the Bruins. I mean, the Hurricanes have been more of a rival for the Bruins recently, just because they always meet them in the playoffs, and the Rangers don't get that far. But you know what I mean? It's like the New York Boston rivalry that you see all the time, and then you throw New Jersey in there, which I think is pretty cool too. So, like that, like northeastern region rivalry, which is kind of cool. Um, it's a nice to see a switch up. Like, you know what I mean? It's nice to see that the Capitals aren't there, the Penguins aren't there. You know what I mean? It's just some new faces. Western Conference top three in the Central Division are the Dallas Stars, Minnesota Wild, and the surging Colorado Avalanche on a 5-game win streak. They are currently 40 wins, 22 losses, and 6 overtime losses. Jesus. Um, yeah, definitely like to see the former Stanley Cup champions coming back. I'd like to see them in the playoffs, and if the Bruins can face them in the Stanley Cup and beat them, that would be, you know, I always like the story where it's like to win the whole thing, you had to end up playing against last year's winner and beating them. You know what I mean? Because that's like now you know you're like, all right, we are the best because we just played the best team and they made it back to back to the like for the finals or whatever it happens to be. Whatever sport you're thinking of, and then you know beat the team. Like I think it was um yeah, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who the year before just went to the Super Bowl against the San Francisco 49ers, and they beat them. And then the Kansas City Chiefs get back to the Super Bowl and they play Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay beats them. You know what I mean? It's just like a nice story where it's like I just beat the reigning defending. You know what I mean? Instead of just beating some randoms, not like randoms, but you know what I mean. Um, let's see. Okay, it's nice seeing Dallas up there too. I like to see them in the playoffs to see what they can do. Pacific Division, still basically the same. Golden Knights, Kings, and Oilers. It was Golden Knights, Kings, and Kraken, but the Oilers slightly overtook them. They got 3 points ahead of them. But I'd like to still see the Kraken in the playoffs just because they are a new organization. But let's take a look here in terms of the Bruins games again. So playing the Senators, then the Canadiens, then the Lightning. So there's no reason they shouldn't beat the Senators and the Canadiens because they're both home games. I could see them losing to the Lightning because the Lightning is a good team. Um, but still, no excuses why they shouldn't win that game or win those 2 games. And then, I can understand if they lose to Lightning, but um, yeah, that'll be it for the NHL. Keep things updated. I mean, regular season stuff is always like kind of like, just me updating. Um, but when it gets to the playoffs, it's a little bit more interesting. We'll jump to the NBA really quickly, which I haven't been able to follow recently. Looks like the Heat are playing the Pistons currently. Currently, it looks like the Heat are up. Let's take a look at some recent games. Anything good recently? Um, Thunder beat the Suns 124 to 120. What the fuck happened there? Nuggets beat the Nets 108 to 102. Those are 2 of the other games that were on today. There's 4 more games on today as well. Raptors and Bucks, that might be a good, interesting game to watch. Clippers Trailblazers might be good too. Games yesterday. The Celtics lost to the Jazz 117 to 118. I have no idea what's going on with the Celtics, and they just keep losing random fucking games. I have no idea what's going on. It's not looking good. Um, let's take a look at the Celtics in the standings. Um, damn. In the last 10, Celtics are 5-5, and they have unfortunately dropped down to third place in the Eastern Conference. They are now behind the Philadelphia 76ers, who are on a 8-game winning streak. They've been absolutely slamming people apparently. So, um, sucks for us, I guess. I mean, I don't think it's that bad because then the Celtics might play um, a better matchup because they're not in first. Excuse me, sorry. They might get a better team in terms of a matchup for the first round, but it would always be nice for them to have like that first round bye because I think that's what the NBA does, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, just to have like a little bit of like I don't know. We'll see. Still a decent amount of games left. Let me take a look at how many games are left for the Celtics. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 games left. So they have a good stretch of games left, and they should win a majority of them. Their next game is going to be this Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, playing Sacramento, which might be a tough game. Then they're playing the Pacers, and they're playing the Spurs and the Wizards. So they got a decent amount of easy games. Those 3 games, Pacers, Spurs, Wizards, they should win those games. I could definitely see them dropping that Sacramento game. I don't know what's happened to them lately. I don't know if it's fatigue or team cohesion or what, but they're just not fucking pulling it together. But top three teams in the East are going to be Bucks, 76ers, Celtics, and then right out of there is going to be Cavs. Um, I think now that the Nets don't have anybody, nobody cares about them. But the Knicks are like a still a pretty good team. They're 7-3 in their last 10, so they're definitely a team to look out for. So I definitely just if the Celtics don't play the Knicks in the first round, I think they'll be okay. So I think the Celtics just need to get to that second seed, and then they'll be fine. So they won't have to play the Knicks. Because if they are end in third and the Knicks ends in fifth, then they'd probably end up having to play the Knicks in the first round, and I could definitely see the Knicks winning, unfortunately. Western Conference, it's going to be Nuggets, Kings, Grizzlies, and then right outside there is going to be Suns, Clippers, Mavs. Um, let's see. The Kings are 8-10 in their last, or sorry, 8-2 in their last 10. Still looking good. I don't even know who's on the Sacramento Kings team. I think I looked over this before and I didn't recognize anybody. Um, De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter. I don't know any of these guys at all. I guess they're just a good team. I don't know. I mean, good for them. It's nice seeing like fresh faces in the West at least, but I don't know any of these guys. Maybe that's my fault because I don't pay enough attention to the to basketball, but I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know any of their players, unfortunately. But hey, that's cool. Not that California needs more teams doing well, but um, that's cool for them. But take a look. Any other cool games coming up? Let's see. Mavs Grizzlies tomorrow at 8. That'd be cool. I don't know if John Morant is still out or not, but that Celtics Kings game is should actually be good, but it's at 10 o'clock at night, so there's no fucking way I'm watching that. Um, hmm. Nothing super crazy in terms of that, but keep you guys updated on the NBA. And then I wanted to go into March Madness really quickly because there's some cool upsets going on in March Madness. I think the March Madness NCAA basketball tournament is like the coolest tournament in college sports. They got some couple games going on right now. You got St. Mary's playing against UConn, Michigan State against Marquette, and then you got Creighton playing Baylor later, FDU, which is one of the big stories, playing Florida Atlantic later. So let's take a look at the bracket really quickly. In the first round, you had some crazy upsets. I'll only go over like the cool games because Alabama beating Texas A&M, like that's not like it's like nobody cares, you know. Um, see, round one, Virginia actually ended up losing to some random team called Furman. I don't know who that is, so that's one big upset there. So we'll keep that on the counter. One. Oops, did I just break my mouse? I think I just broke my mouse. What the fuck? It just came out of place. That's annoying. The little wheel on the mouse just came out of place, and now it doesn't work anymore. Oh well, I'll just have to scroll down, unfortunately. Um, Other upsets. Yeah, Princeton, the Princeton basketball team ended up beating Arizona, which was like second in. I don't know if they were second in the nation, but this Princeton team is absolutely popping off for whatever reason. I'll get into that again in the next round as well. So that's two big upsets. Um, third big upset is FDU ended up beating Purdue, which is probably one of the biggest upsets in college basketball history. So that's three big upsets. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-na. I think that might be it for the upset counter. I mean, Pittsburgh beat Iowa State. That's another one. So I guess we'll put four there. Um, let's see what else. That Houston team looks fucking insane. Gonzaga won, Northwestern won, UCLA won. It's gonna be a cool tournament year. Um, that's about it for the upsets. And then on to the round two, which is actually like this shit goes real fast. Alabama beat Maryland, which was actually pretty expected. Furman lost to San Diego State, so the Sweet 16 round is going to be um, San Diego State versus Alabama. So that should be actually a really good fucking game to watch. Um, so then what else in the second round? Princeton beat Missouri again. So this Princeton team is out of control. Somehow they're just fucking beating everybody. They beat Missouri 78-6. So Princeton's going to be playing the winner of Creighton and Baylor, which is going to be on today at 7. Um, then also today at 7:45, FDU's playing Florida Atlantic. So if FDU could beat Purdue, I'm pretty sure they could beat Florida Atlantic, but then they have to go on to play Tennessee because in the second round, Tennessee beat Duke 65-52. That's probably a really good game. Um, then we've also got Michigan State Marquette. That game is not over yet. It started the second half. Winner of that plays against Kansas State because Kansas State beat Kentucky. Let's see here. Xavier beat Pittsburgh, and Texas beat Penn State. So that's going to be Xavier versus Texas for the next round. Houston beat Auburn, and the winner of University of Miami and Indiana play Houston. So poor son of a bitch. TCU's playing Gonzaga, and whoever wins that game is going to play against UCLA. That should be a good matchup. Another big upset here. Arkansas ended up beating Kansas 72-71. Kansas is one of the top-rated programs in the nation. And then whoever wins St. Mary's against UConn is going to play against Arkansas. So pretty cool college setup here. This is where you see like the upsets. You see like cool shit. You know what I mean? Like Princeton, the Arkansas upset. So if I had to guess, I would say into the Elite Eight round, I'd probably say it'd probably be Alabama, and then I don't know with that Princeton matchup. So I'm gonna say leave that alone for now. So Alabama, then I'll say Tennessee, Kansas State, probably Texas, then Houston. Um, I don't know who would win between UCLA and Gonzaga. I'll just say UCLA, and then there's that Arkansas game too. So then I don't fucking know. That's a really close call. I really don't know, but it should be good. Like again, this tournament is cool. Even if I don't get to watch a lot of the games, I still think the tournament itself is fucking cool, and just like seeing the upsets. And it's like I think it's one of the best tournaments in all of sports. It's always cool to watch. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick update on that because this tournament goes super fucking fast. Um, the Elite Eight already starts like in a week, and they still got a couple games to play. So keep an eye on that. But I think that'll be it for the March Madness stuff. And I think we're gonna jump into Premier League really quickly as well. Give me just a second here. All right, starting out some football, starting with the Premier League. Had some cool matches recently. Let's go back in time a little bit. Around the last time I put out an episode was the 5th, so they had, let's see here, any cool games here. Chelsea ended up beating Leicester City on the 11th. Tottenham won a game. Man City won a game. Man United and Southampton came to a draw, I should say. Arsenal beat Fulham 3-0. All right, let's go into the next match day. 28. I think that was this past weekend. Yeah, it was. Wow, Tottenham came to a draw with Southampton 3-3. You don't really see that very often. Leeds United won. Bunch of postponed games. Chelsea came to a draw with Everton at 2-2. What's going on? I have no idea what's going on here. All right, so not like anything super exciting in terms of games. Arsenal beat Crystal Palace 4-1. Pretty expected. I mean, what do you expect? They just poo-pooed all over them, you know? Um, Arsenal just absolutely shitting on people. Arsenal at 69 points. Nice. And then top of the table, so it's Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Tottenham, and Newcastle. Liverpool kind of falling out there. I would like to see Liverpool in the top five, but it is what it is. And then cool games coming up. Let's see here. Oh, you got a Man City Liverpool game, April 1st, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'd be a cool game to watch. What else do we have? Arsenal's playing Leeds United. That might not be that cool of a game. Newcastle's playing Man United. That'll be a close game. April 2nd at 11:30 a.m. So keep an eye out for that one. Bu- 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 And then no really cool matchups there. There's so many postponed games, and they go back and like they play all these games again. Like I don't know what's going on because it'll go from if you're looking at it on Google, like oh match day 29 or 39 or 38. Like cool, that's cool. And then the games after that, it's like match day 7 of 38. So I'm assuming those were games that were supposed to happen that got postponed for whatever reason, and then they just kind of go back and they redo them. But I don't know, it's fucking all over the place. But um, trying to watch more Premier League, but I'm still not getting a chance, unfortunately. I'm gonna see. Let's see what's coming up. I should try and watch that Man City Liverpool game Saturday morning, 7:30 a.m. I'll see if I can wake up for that. Um, what else do we have? What else is on that Saturday? Let's see. And then maybe that Newcastle Man United game. I'll try and watch those. That's Sunday at 11:30. I should be able to watch that. All right, I'm gonna try and watch those 2 games. So every podcast, I'm gonna try at least watch 1 or 2 games of, um, Premier League. I'm gonna pick a couple games, I'm gonna just try and watch them. So for this one, it's gonna be Man City and Liverpool, us the April 1st, 7:30 AM, and then damn, what's with the big break? What the fuck is going on here? Is it 'cause of UEFA? Maybe, 'cause there's no games this coming weekend. Weird. Whatever. All right, so I'm going to pick those games. I'm going to try and remember to try and watch them, and then we'll go into the UEFA Champions League really quickly. Um, Real Madrid beat Liverpool 1-0. Any cool games here? Tottenham came to a draw with Milan. Bayern beat PSG 2-0. Jesus Christ, that was probably a banger. Chelsea beat Dortmund 2-0. Damn. Yeah, I'm not really sure why there's a massive break in Premier League from this weekend to the 1st of April. Um, I don't know, they still got so many games left to play, like, why are they taking a break like that? I don't know, it's gotta be for something, I'm sure. Um, so let's take a look for any cool okay, so the quarterfinals are starting on April 11th for the UEFA Champions League. I'm gonna try and watch wait, what day is April 11th? Let's take a look really quickly. April 11th is fuck, that's a Tuesday. That's gonna be tough. So there's a really cool game where it's gonna be or a couple cool games. So April 11th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Man City's playing Bayern. That'll be a really cool game, but I don't know if I'll be able to watch that game because I'll probably be working. Real Madrid is playing Chelsea at 3 p.m. on April 12th, and that is, I think, a Wednesday. Yeah, it's a Wednesday, and I'll probably be working at that time, so that's kind of unfortunate, but maybe I'll see if I can get it on my phone if I try and remember, but I just gotta keep looking at it and reminding myself, so, I'll try and watch those 2 games, and I'll try and watch the Man City Liverpool, and the other game I already forgot was the Man United Newcastle game. So, April 1st and April 2nd, and then April 11th and April 12th. I don't know why there's such a gap, but it is what it is. Maybe it's the Europa League? Maybe that's why. Because they do the Europa they have so many things going on at the same time, it's fucking wild. So that must be why they have all those games, and they're all fucking taking forever. Uh, let's see. No, because the games don't even start until what the fuck's going on? Bro, this shit is so confusing. I'm just trying to find games and just watch them and have fun, but there's, like, so much shit to follow that I have no idea what's going on. Like, I don't even know who these teams are. I know Fenerbahce. I know Arsenal. I know Real Betis. What is Union Saint Gilloise? What the fuck? What team is this? What country is this team from, dude? I have no idea, dude. This shit is so confusing. I have no idea, man. Let's see. Fenerbahce is Turkish, right? I think so. Yeah, I know. I think I just need to pay more attention to like how this shit fucking works in terms of all these fucking things going on. But I think soccer is one of the cooler sports because of all the international play. In terms of like you don't really have like European teams playing Asian teams, but like in the European like continents, they're all playing each other. You know what I mean? Like you got like all these like German, Turkish, British, French, of course, the Italians. They're all in there. You know what I mean? It's all really cool. Um, and none of the American teams ever get a chance. I mean, it's this is like the Europa League, so why would what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. Um, yeah, just some real like random teams I've never heard of, but I guess so. Whatever. Oh well. I'll have to keep an eye on that as well. But I guess that's gonna be it for the football portion. I have no idea what the fuck I was talking about. Apparently, then we'll go into everybody's favorite League of Legends portion. So I did not put out a video last week. So the last time I put something out was around the 5th. So take a look at the Monday games. Oof, BLG ended up beating RNG 2-1. I don't know what's going on with RNG, man. Let's take a look. All right, Tuesday, March 7th. LNG ended up beating Top Esports 2-0. Edward Gaming beat Weibo Gaming 2-1. Got some cool. Those are definitely some cool matches to go back and watch if anybody has any interest. Those would be some cool games. LNG kind of proving that they are not frauds and they could beat some of the best teams because Top Esports, when they're playing their best, are one of the best teams in the world. EDG is on a massive resurgence and losing Scout and Viper does not seem like it was much of an issue for them. You would think that they downgraded by adding Fofo and Leave into the roster, but at least domestically, they're absolutely crapping on people right now. So let's take a look. We had some standings shift ups here, standing shift ups, I should say, here, but we'll go over those in a minute. I'm just going to go back to the Uh, schedule here, Wednesday, March 8th, no interesting games. Thursday, March 9th, no interesting games. March 10th, nothing crazy. March 11th, RNG actually ended up beating Weibo 2-1. It's funny because Shahu's old team. LGD somehow beat Top Esports 2-0. What the fuck is going on with Top Esports? They're shitting themselves. WE beat IG 2-0. Okay, interesting. Sunday, March 12th, JDG ended up beating LNG 2-1. Um, let's see, what else do we have? EDG won another game, or another series, I should say. March 13th, Weibo ended up beating OMG 2-0. The 14th, excuse me, No Good Games, 15th. Thunder Talk Gaming somehow beat Top Esports 2-1. Dude, Top Esports is imploding. What is going on, dude? How many games have they lost in a row? What the fuck? They're in a 4-game losing streak and they're losing to dog shit teams. I have no idea what's going on. March 16th, No Good Games. March 17th, EDG ended up beating OMG 2-1. March 18th. BLG beat Top Esports again. Jesus Christ, 2-0. JDG won a 2-0, and Weibo Gaming won a 2-0. Wow, what a fast day on Saturday. And then today, March 19th, LNG ended up beating IG 2-1, and Fun Plus Phoenix actually ended up beating EDG 2-1. What the fuck? This is why the LPL is so much fun to watch. All right, so top of the standings here is going to be EDG at 12-3, JDG at 11-3, LNG 11-3, Weibo Gaming 9-5, Billy Gaming 9-5, OMG, Top Esports, Thunder Talk, RNG, and WE. That's going to be your 10 teams that would, if the season ended right now, would be making playoffs. But um, what the fuck is going on? Did not expect a lot of this to happen. I expected EDG to be good, but I didn't expect it to be this good. Just because, again, on paper, them getting rid of Scout and Viper makes them look like a significantly worse team. But I guess they're just fucking absolutely smashing it. JDG still in form, looking really good. I don't know what happened to Top Esports and why they're doing so bad. Um, I don't know what's going on because they have like some of the best players. I did not expect this from them. Um, let's see, RNG is kind of still shaky. Thunder Talk Gaming somehow still in the running. Um, and then Weibo Gaming is kind of all over the place. A lot of these teams are just all over the place. I mean, LNG is still solidifying themselves as one of the best players or best teams in the league. I mean, they got Zika, Tarzan, Scout, LP, and Hong. I guess they're just playing that good. I don't know. It's interesting to see. I think we're gonna get a lot of cool matchups coming up here. So speaking of in the future, tomorrow, um, no really interesting games. Got a couple of good teams playing, but no like good matchups. The 21st, OMG Top Esports. That was a good game to watch. That's 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday. What do we have here? Wednesday. I gotta remember that Tuesday to remember to turn on LPL at 7 a.m. Um, Wednesday, you got IG versus BLG. That should be a good game at 7 a.m. I'm gonna start trying to watch these games when I'm like when I'm waking up because I usually wake up around like 6:30, 7 o'clock. So I'm gonna just like wake up and just like turn them on instantly. Thursday, the 23rd, no close games. The 24th, no good games. 25th, no close games. Well, actually, you got BLG versus OMG. That should be a close game. And then the 26th, no really close games. I think that might be the end of the regular season, right? When does the regular season end? It does end on the 26th, so I guess we just got all the cool matchups already. So, I mean, there's only a couple cool matchups left, so if you guys are going to watch, now's the time, but the playoffs are going to be absolutely insane, so keep an eye on the playoffs, dude. It's going to be dope. Um, Typically, what it looks like for the standings now is probably going to be your top 10 teams. I mean, the 9, 10, and 8 spots are probably, they might shift around a little bit, but it's probably going to be these teams. Probably pretty close to this order as well. So I don't see anybody beating EDG or JDG. LNG might drop a game or two, but yeah, this is pretty much it. I mean, some of these teams are really struggling. Some of these teams you didn't expect. Like my top 5 this year going into it was going to be EDG, JDG, Weibo, RNG, and Top Esports, but it's not looking like that at all. The only teams that are in the top 5 that I picked were EDG, JDG, and Weibo, and that's it. Um, the other teams, RNG, Top Esports, not looking good. But it is what it is. We'll go quickly into the LCK really quick, see if there are any cool games, cool matchups. That one's going to be finishing up soon too. Um, Last time I put out an episode was the 5th, so let's go to Wednesday, March 8th. No Cool Games, March 9th. T1 ended up beating DRX 2-0. Gen G beat Sandbox 2-0. Nice. March 10th, Daewon Kia 1-2-0. March 11th, T1 beat Hanwha Life 2-1. Sandbox beat DRX 2-1. Interesting. March 12th, the Afrika Freaks beat Gen G 2-1. What the fuck happened there? D plus Kia beat Freddy Brion 2-1. The 15th, no cool games. 16th, Gen G 2-0'd Hanwha Life. And T1 2-0'd D plus Kia. Interesting. Bum, 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 bum. I think the regular season for the LCK already finished too. Then 18th, March 18th, Gen G 2-0 D plus Kia. Hanwha Life actually 2-1 Sandbox. And today, no cool games. So let's take a look really quickly at the standings. We should have the playoffs bracket set for them since they finished their regular season. Yep, regular season finished today, actually. So if we take a look at the playoffs teams, it's Gen G in first. Sorry, T1 in first. Gen G, KT Rolster, D plus Kia, Hanwha Life, and Live Sandbox. Pretty interesting. Kind of a lot of the things you would expect, though. So looking at the playoffs. Ba-da-da-da-ba-da. When do the spring playoffs start for the LCK? All right, and the first and second place for the spring playoffs end up going to MSI, so that should be really cool. Let's see here. The start date is actually on the 22nd. What the fuck? The games are already starting. 22nd is also the beginning of Ramadan. Happy Ramadan. It's gonna be Wednesday the 22nd, so I'll have to remember that. Wake up and watch those games. Let's see here. Okay, so um, what does the first round of the playoffs look like here? I'm interested. Da, da, da. Okay, so first round of the playoffs. All right, so first round is going to be a best of five round, and they're doing KT versus Live Sandbox. I would think that KT Rolster wins that. And then we've got D plus Kia versus Hanwha Life, which is actually going to be a pretty good matchup there because you've got on Hanwha, you've got Viper, um, Zeka, who was a returning champion, Klid, Kingen, and Life against Kana, Canyon, Showmaker, Deft, and Kellen. I think, fuck, I don't know. I don't know who wins that, honestly. I think that's gonna be close. And then the first and second seeds, T1 and um, duh, T1 and Gen G, they have first round buys, but um, damn, this is fucking interesting. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that starts this Wednesday. God damn, it's gonna be quick. Quick turnaround on that, and it ends on the 9th. What the fuck? And then when's MSI? Let's take a look really quickly. MSI. Okay, that starts in May, so they get like basically a whole month before they have to play again. So I mean, it's a lot of time for them. And then again, it's 13 teams, two from China, two from Europe, two from North America, two from Korea, one from the PCS, which is Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, Southeast Asia, and Oceania. Ugh. One from Vietnam, one from Brazil, one from Nihon, aka Japan, and then one from Latin America. The only teams that have been decided is going to be G2 Esports, but this bracket is going to be dope. So keep an eye out for that. But we'll end with the LCK since they're done. Then go into the LEC. I just watched a decent amount of LEC today. Some decent games. So let's go back to the last time. So they started back up again the 11th. Um, Any cool games on the 11th? Vitality beat Mad Lions. That was a pretty good game. They beat them 21-3. Absolutely fucking smacked them. On the 12th, Astralis ended up beating G2 somehow, 21-23 or 23-20. Sorry. BDS beat Mad Lions 21-6. I'm just gonna go over this quickly. Any cool games I see here? Vitality beat Fnatic 22-3. Absolutely crapped on them. Mad Lions beat Koi 9-6 kills. Wow, I remember that game. And then the 18th, which was just yesterday, Koi ended up beating G2 17-10. Vitality beat SK 14-7. Heretics actually picked up a good win yesterday. Good for them. Mad Lions beat Astralis 23-7. And then the games today. G2 Esports beat Vitality 22-9. They did not play very well, but it is what it is. Bum, 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 bum. What else? Excel actually ended up beating Mad Lions 18-7. Fnatic won their first game today, 31-14 in kills. And then we got games going on tomorrow. But the 19th is today, so tomorrow's the 20th. Not really that many cool games. Kind of a lot of what you would expect to be shit stops. So whatever. And then let's see any cool games. We do have a cool game on the 25th. That's going to be Mad Lions for G2 at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then Vitality versus Koi at 4 p.m. Eastern. That should be a cool game as well. 26th. Fnatic G2 might be cool. 4 p.m. Then we'll see 27th. Fnatic Mad Lions 3 p.m. Those would be some interesting games, but it's weird how they do their scheduling. But um, oh well. Let's see here. In terms of standings, as of right meow for the let's see, it should be the spring season, correct? Right, it is the spring season because they do winter, spring, summer now because they're doing three, and that is until the 27th, and then they go how a month off, and then they do. Oh no, so okay, so the spring season is the 27th as of right now. The teams in the lead are Team BDS, Team Vitality, G2 Esports, Koi, and SK Gaming would be one, two, three, four, five, and then Estrella six. So again, it's all like it's really close in terms of the standings, but somehow Team BDS is 4-1. I don't know how they're doing it. And then when the spring groups, that should be okay. So that's the April 8th to the 16th. And then spring playoffs because they need time to rest before MSI, which is the beginning of May. And then spring playoffs is from. Damn, they don't really get a whole lot of time to rest um, before MSI. Whereas some of these Asian teams, they have like basically like a whole month off. Whereas I guess the European teams aren't. No, that's kind of tough. But yeah, I guess we'll go with that, and then I'll keep you guys updated on any cool games. Um, let's take a look here. And then we'll go back to the LCS really quickly. I haven't really been watching any of it. Um, I think the LCS playoffs is going to be starting soon. Let me pull that up quick. Yeah, okay, let's do this, brother. All right, LCS spring playoffs. So the teams that are in are C9, CLG, FlyQuest, 100 Thieves, Golden Guardians, and EG. They start the 23rd of March and they should end on the 9th of April. Um, the way that the regular season ended, let me take a look for the spring season. I believe it ended with Cloud9 in first, right? Yeah, so Cloud9 in first, FlyQuest in second, 100 Thieves in third somehow. I don't know how they did that. Counter Logic Gaming in fourth, Evil Geniuses in fifth, and Golden Guardians in sixth. And that's how it ended up in the playoffs bracket. Seventh and eighth were right behind sixth place at 8 and 10, and sixth place got in at 9 and 9 record, so they just barely fucking squeaked in. But that'd be interesting. Some of those matchups would be pretty cool. I'll let you guys know as they come closer. Um, when do those matchups start? They start the 23rd, so they're gonna start this weekend. Okay, I'm gonna try and start watching that. The 23rd is gonna be this Thursday, so I'll try and watch some of those games. That should be good. Definitely take a look at that. But I think that'll be it for the League of Legends section here. I grab myself some water really quickly. All right, and the last thing I wanted to get into was a couple movies that I had watched. More than a couple, but I watched quite a few. So I watched the first Doctor Strange movie, which actually came out in 2016. Just figured why the fuck not, because I like Benedict Cumberbatch, and it was pretty easy to follow. I thought it was pretty good. Let's see what we have for IMDb. Here it is. All right, so IMDb has it as 7.5 out of 10. I'd say that's pretty accurate. Um, but I thought it was pretty good. All the visuals were really cool. All the cinematics, everything was really cool. So maybe I'd give it a little bit more than a 7.5, probably like a 7.8 or something like that. I thought it was pretty dope. Easy to follow. Not like super convoluted in the Marvel sense, but um, definitely a interesting like aspect of the Marvel universe because they're adding magic into it. Um, Instead of just like aliens and shit. But so after that, I went right into Thor Ragnarok, which was pretty good. That one came out in 2017 because the reason I watched that is because the after credits scene of um, what do you call it? Of Doctor Strange led right into Thor Ragnarok. So I was like, fuck it, might as well watch it. IMDb has this as a 7.9. Um, 7.9. Yeah, I'm getting into the nitty-gritty on this one. I guess I'll give it a 7.9. I mean, I thought it was good. Was it better than Doctor Strange? Yeah, I guess, but that was like the first iteration of Doctor Strange, where this is like not the first iteration of Thor, so it's like kind of it makes sense. I mean, it's understandable, but um, I thought it was pretty good. Um, I'm not really watching these in order, so it's kind of just like that's just how it happened. And then after that, I ended up watching Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Strange, where is that? Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which came out in 2022. IMDb has this as a 6.9. Nice. I thought it was actually pretty good. I would give this one a 7.5. Um, maybe even a little bit more than the first one. I think it was a little bit better. Just like all of like the levels they added into it and shit like that. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I would give it a little bit of a higher grade than the first one. So the first one I gave like a 7.8. I would give this one a 7.9 because I think this one was better. Um, and they added all the shit in there, but like they made it like not insanely confusing, but they made it like easy enough to understand the fuck was going on. Um, but again, all the visuals, all the cool shit. They introduced America Chavez, who I had no idea was even a character in the Marvel universe. But they did a lot of cool shit with multiverses and like different versions of people. So I thought that was really cool. All the visuals were really cool. Um, and then just having Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, as the main like antagonist was like pretty interesting. Um, so I'd give that one a higher than so I would say the first Doctor Strange was probably like a 7.7, 7.8. This would probably be a 7.9. I don't know why IMDb has it as a 6.9. I thought it was, pretty fucking cool. Um, But yeah, those were the Marvel movies I watched. I just happened to fucking get a chance to watch them. And then I also watched an old movie with my dad called Vanishing Points. This movie I have heard of before, um, but never looked into. So this is a 1971 movie with Barry Newman, and the entire time he's driving a 1970 white Dodge Charger, and this thing looks fucking sick. It's a dope ass car. IMDb has this as a 7.2 out of 10. Um, I don't think it was that good. I would give this like a six, six and a half, maybe. So basically, the premise of this story is that he's a car delivery guy. So he drives cars across the country, delivers them to the buyers, and then he gets paid. He's got like crazy backstory where he used to be like a cop, he used to be a race car driver, he used to be a motorcycle rider or driver, and he used to be like in the armed service or something like that. And one of his like girlfriends or whatever died fucking what do you call it? Surfing, and he's just got, like, there's, like, all these random flashbacks, and it's, like, kinda hard to tell if the weird people that he meets are, like, real or not, but for whatever reason, he just drives like an absolute lunatic. So he's supposed to deliver this car to a buyer he's going from Colorado to California, and then instead of just driving normally, he drives like an absolute maniac, and, like, he's, like, fucking this car up. So I'm like, "I don't get it." I was like, if they're buying this car, why are you beating the absolute shit out of it? But he's also addicted to like amphetamines or whatever, so he's like driving like a fucking lunatic, like not sleeping. He's like losing his mind the entire time. Um, but I mean, it was a pretty decent movie. It's pretty interesting. Just also interesting to see movies at the time. The cinematography was actually pretty good. But just like a lot of weird fucking characters in the movie. Like I was just like confused. I don't really know what was going on. And then, not to ruin the movie for anybody, but no one's gonna watch this or listen to this anyway. But he ends up like finally getting to California, and instead of like a happy ending or whatever, he just decides to smash the car right into 2 bulldozers in a fiery wreck, and then he dies. I was like, "What the fuck's going on with this movie?" Like, I don't get it. Like, why did he just do that? Like, I don't know. I don't know if he was, like, looking for a place to die or whatever, or if he's just out of his fucking mind, but instead of, like, slowing down and then just delivering the fucking car, he just smashes it right into a fucking barricade of bulldozers. I don't really fucking know. But, yeah, I mean, it was something else. I mean, interesting, I guess. I mean, it's a decent film. I mean, if you're gonna go back and watch some classics, like that'd be an interesting one to watch. So, I guess. Um, any other things that are like recognizable? Barry Newman was in. He was in the OC. He was in. Let's see, Bowfinger. Um, let's see. He was in 3 episodes of Murder She Wrote. I don't really recognize him for any of this stuff. I don't know. Oh, well, I guess that's it, guys. I mean, just some movies on there for you to add a little bit extra something to figure bring it out. But that's gonna be it for the Back to My Bone podcast, episode 37. As always, I'm your host, Chris, aka Don Burgundy on the internet. All of my likes in the description down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Later.